What's going on, guys? It's your boy Motorman Dan, and I want to congratulate our two winners and thank everybody else who participated in this giveaway. I appreciate your guys' participation. I appreciate the hype around the new DLC. But we had to pick two winners. The contests were the first one, get as far as you can on side entrance, only in the Rift Room. And the second one was a quiz sort of thing where I took a lot of zoomed in images and you had to guess as much as you could about those images. I had some great submissions. We're going to go over the kill boxes used here in a second for the side entrance, and then we're going to go over the answers as well as what those were with a zoom out function as well through my recording software. So without further ado, the two winners are Ryasa and New Dawn. Congratulations, guys. I went ahead and sent you some messages in Discord so we can hook up and I'll get your Steam information. That way I can give you the game whenever it comes out. Now, let's go ahead and get started with the kill boxes. So, we've had a handful of submissions here, and I think it's pretty interesting, the differences of kill boxes. So, here we have Max, and he picks... We'll see a loadout here in just a second. There we go. So he starts on the left-hand side, bringing him over to the left. He goes Grinder, which is pretty risky whenever you're going endless, right? Grinder may be one of the worst endless traps there are, or one of the least effective, but they're very good for the very beginning waves. Saw Blade Launcher is a totally good idea. It's going to shoot outwards. And then, of course, for combos, like I said, if you tie with somebody else, combos matter, score matters. But, I mean, here we didn't have any ties, and it's pretty unlikely that we get that. But... he's going for a very physical heavy build with physical damage modifiers, so like ice, for example, and then acid for another debuff. Pretty interesting stuff, really. So he's building on the left hand side. Let's see a little bit farther. We've got, yeah, just Saw Blade Grinder combos. Pretty good, a lot of damage here. Is that Arcane Ballista? I couldn't tell. Yeah, Arcane Ballista for a little bit of extra damage from the ice and from the acid and the fire, of course. All right, now let's move in a little bit more. We're just going to take a quick look at this barricade setup. So they're coming in from the left, they go down, and then they're pushed up against the wall. Now this is interesting. There's a gap here behind the rift where they're just completely pushed up against the wall, or well, close to the wall then, and that's open. Let's see if we can find a spot where he's moving around so we can see it. Yeah, so you can kind of see part of it there. Let's see. We'll fast forward here. He runs off. So yeah, this one you definitely have to take care of sappers. It's a really good idea to bring the stone staff for that. It's easy to take care of the sappers with the stone staff. All right, let's keep going ahead of time a little bit. All right, here we have, okay, so this is the setup here, the barricade setup in the back. Just going a straight shot. I mean, that's really good for the floor scorcher. Just a straight shot of tar and acid and burn and right into the wall. I think this is a very valid setup for sure. You know, back here, there's not a lot of wall space to do anything great. So yeah, this is pretty good. All right, let's look at the end of it and see where we're at here. A lot of ballistas up. This is a really good spot for ballistas. You can do that, or snow cannon, of course. Really good spot there. Runs lasers down the straightways, and he also, on this left-hand side, he's pulling the enemies like inwards and then back outwards towards this outside corner instead of just going straight through, which is a really effective use of all of this floor space. Otherwise, it's a little bit awkward in front of this pillar over to his right, because it's kind of hard to fit anything there that actually makes sense. So that's really good. I would yeah, let's just hop into here. He's down a couple of lives. It's wave 54. We got a couple of beefy boys here in the back. They're going to be pretty tough to take down for sure, and he does lose his 2 lives due to these armored ogres. It's wave 54, so they're almost maximum crowd control reduction. But there you go. There's the first submission we have at losing at 54, so beats 53. All right, let's move on to the next one. The next one is from Pooh Zapper. This one is in 1080p, but it's actually like a 360p recording, which is totally fine. It's totally optional to do that. All right, so here we start with double barricades. It's the first double barricade strat I've seen, and we also see the floor saws, or rip saws as they're called, and the wall chargers, going for some really heavy damage here. That can definitely get you pretty far if you go heavy damage. All right, we got tar and flip, of course, for the big guys, and then ice, because you just can't get enough of it. It's just so good. We got Jar Ghost, which is a pretty valid option. Drop Reset and Trinket, which helps. All right, so he's pushing them down this side, and he keeps them on the outside here. And I like what he does in this area right here. We'll have to move it up a little bit to see it. Let's keep zooming forward a little bit, and we'll eventually start seeing back there in the back. Yeah, so here's all of his barricading. Did a lot of barricading before really kind of solidifying his defenses, so he's having to chase a little bit, but he's still only wave 10. Look at this. This is a really good use of this space. It's a pretty awkward area, but he was able to run the saw blade, the floor saw, next to the flip trap, so it's going to freeze and flip if they're kind of straddling both, which is really, really effective. So good job on that. Let's move forward a little bit. Look at these barricades. Right now, it's kind of going just all the way around in a big circle and still staying there. It looks like maybe the front ones are doubled up. Yeah, they're definitely doubled up there. The sappers are a pretty big issue here on this map. If you don't take care of them, they'll definitely ruin it. So here we go, wave 21. Not really much of a problem here for Poo Zapper, as all of these enemies are dying pretty quickly to all this upfront damage. You know, ice buffs itself. Lightning damage is good for groups, and it's a really big group spot there in the beginning. Definitely some good options. All right, let's keep going. So he's getting some Cades back here. Now, he did something similar where he pushed all the Cades towards this back wall, but he actually went all the way to the back wall. So he wasn't really utilizing the space next to the rift. But he ran double Cades, and I don't really know how easy it is to run double Cades there. But good job for him. Again, lots of damage coming into this little area with lots of freeze and everything. The wall chargers are going to get a lot of value off of that. And they're going to pump out so much damage. It's going to be crazy. So there's certainly a way to not spend too much time on this. But as we see here, wave 56 runs through, meaning he beat wave 55 as he loses his last life. Okay. Next submission was from Cappy D. Cappy D is one of the speedrunners. It's really good at that. And his challenge, let's see what he brought. He brought the Brimstone, something I normally wouldn't do, but also the butterflies with the increased duration of confusion, which is good. Also brought the wall charger and the snow cannon ice. So obviously everyone's running ice. They all know the power of crowd control for sure. Okay, so let's move forward a little bit. Looks like he's going on the left-hand side for this one. And he continued to go for the left-hand side. Oh, maybe I'm hoping my camera isn't in the way of anything. All right, so he's keeping them on along this side. You can see his wall setup here, pretty standard stuff. Doing the double butterfly strat, one above, one below. The top one will only affect ogres and plus. The bottom one will affect everything, so kind of gets two different cooldown triggers going. Definitely smart stuff here. The wall charges, again, doing lots of group damage in the beginning, especially in the very first corner. Lots of enemies group up. All right, we're moving on a little bit farther. It looks like he's building out the ceiling. Let's jump to about a minute. Okay, so here as Vorwick, actually, I didn't even look at the heroes. I think he had signets both times, but he's playing Vorwick, which is very interesting because Vorwick cannot hide from TNT archers or no grenadiers. But I think at some point you don't really need to do that anymore, you know? Like, it doesn't matter. And it looks like here he's just kind of like been in the back anyways, taking care of them outside of the kill box, which is totally cool. And sitting at a really good spot here. This is a good AFK spot. You can either do this or you can do the pipe down there on the right of where he's looking. But let's look at the Cade setup. So he's got them running against the far wall on the bottom, and then kind of zigging in towards the rift on the back wall, and then getting pushed out for the rest of the way, and then getting flipped over probably up here, top right corner, and then going straight down again. So yeah, so we see that here. He's got himself putting down a flip trap, and he's got this wall space. So yeah, those wall traps will definitely affect everything that's in that square. Well, not everything, but most things, because they go out to about half that tile there. All right, let's keep jumping forward here. Let's see what it looks like. If we can go get a good bit of vision. All right, this is a long stretch of ice. Let's see if he builds on the other side. Goes to the other side. Here we go. Checking out the ceiling. Really good spots for boom barrels. And lots of flips over here on this side. That's pretty good. Yeah, by the time they get here, I think slow isn't going to matter as much, so you might as well just do a bunch of flips and try and keep them there as long as you can. All right, let's jump towards the end. And we've got the Berg Troll, aka the Mountain Troll. He's kind of making his way in, you know, and some smaller guys are following, and it's probably Moneybag's fault here. Moneybags is a tricky enemy to have, because he triggers all your traps and doesn't really get affected by the physics ones, but it'll trigger them off anyways, and so yeah, it's a little bit rough anyways. We're frozen here for some reason. Oh, it's the video. That is fine with me. So there's the next submission from Cappy. Okay, so good job to Cappy making it to wave 65. I don't know if he loses on 65 and at 64, or if he made it to the end of 65. I'm not too sure. But either way, good job. Let's move on to the next one. We have Behemoth, the man, the myth, the legend who hates Endless as we know it. He said this was a good challenge for him. So, interesting start. He's running lasers on the ceiling and then barricades on the sides with tar in the middle. So we'll see how that works out here in a moment. That's a pretty good start because you do get go breaks to sell stuff and move stuff around. Now he's taking everybody to the right, and on top of that, he's leaving a really open floor space in front of the rift instead of kind of closing it off and forcing everything to really clump up at the first corner. Not a bad idea. When things clump up, people tend to sometimes move on the other side of the cades, especially if you pick them up or whatever. Or if an ogre charges, they might knock a small guy over. So this gives them plenty of breathing room before they clump up here at the corner that he's standing. So really smart idea for sure. I did not think of doing that myself, because you don't really need the front space. Can't really use it much anyways, especially in the very beginning, and you can always push it out or just fill it with barricades for the sappers. Okay, so he's pushing everything against this side here. Now, it doesn't look like you can put this back barricade where he's at just because of the corner that it cuts into, but you can. The enemies of this corner, this cade right here, the enemies will pass through that. They won't attack the barricades for that barricade to be there. That's just something trial and error you got to figure out. Gotta ask yourself, will they do it? I don't know. Let me try it out. And you try it out and then you find out that they don't. So really good game knowledge or map knowledge to place that barricade there. All right, let's keep moving forward a little bit and look at the barricade setup. We got kind of a little bit intricate here. So pushing out and then going back in towards this little pillar, and we're coming back out again. Let's see. Oh, here's the back. Okay, so here's this top right corner here from the rift room. So they're running into this charger area. He's also running charges as well. Pretty interesting stuff. Then he has a flip trap with tar, and they're running back around under more lasers and then back over here. So good stuff. All right, lots and lots of flips. You know, tar into 2 flips or tar into 3 flips is always a good idea. Flipping into tar is also definitely a good idea. But anything with flips is, you know, it's always a good idea there. Lasers help clear out the small guys a lot. Let me tell you, a lot. Okay, skipping farther, and he's at 24 lives. Now, he also brought the empty rift scroll, which is a pretty smart move. Pretty 1000 IQ play right there. The reason the rift scroll is good is because you have so much time for these enemies to walk around it that you can really wait for that to come off cooldown almost, and be able to use that for enemies coming in. So it's definitely going to add to you know, losing lives and not really losing lives kind of thing. Okay, let's get towards the end here where Behemoth ends up losing. So we've got a lot of enemies coming through. Moneybags is sitting back in the back. We got some no grenadiers also. Not causing any issues. TNT archers aren't causing any issues either. If they're all the way up there and he's all the way back here, chances are they either can't see him or they don't want to target him because he's on wave 80. But by this point, enemies have so much health that it's so hard to kill them. You know, and crowd control reduction is a thing. So, yeah, definitely difficult stuff here. that we've seen. All right, cool. So that's Behemoth's submission. Good job. He made it in second. However, the first place goes to Ryasa, aka Myu. Okay, let's take a look at what we have here. So, we have the empty rift scroll yet again. We have ballistas. We don't have wall charges in this build. We do have saw blades and windows and flips. Interesting, we don't have lasers either. Yeah, okay, cool. So let's just, and we see the barricades hugging the left-hand side, or the bottom side, I guess, left hand as you're leaving the rift. The bottom side, so we've seen this a couple of times as well, and they're all going to get clumped up in this first corner, but maybe that's just the way that they want it. Okay. So we got saw blades going into the kill box. It's a good idea. They're going to bounce around where all the enemies are, although going outwards isn't a bad idea either. It can help take care of the sappers as they show up. All right, we got flip into some of the dart spitter action here, and there's some more. And he's got the knock-up after small delay for the stone staff. Now we figured that that's actually really, really strong. Not only does it help a little bit with combos, but also it will. The small enemies will fall down, as you guys know, and endless crowd control reduction is a thing, right? But if they fall down, the animation for them getting back up is not modified by how far in endless you get. So flip traps are really good, as well as the stone staff knock-up, because when they have to stand back up, they cause other enemies to have to wait in line behind them, sort of thing. So it's definitely good. But if you have too much of it going on, then they can kind of spread out and go over your barricades. So you got to be a little bit careful with that. Okay, let's move on forward a little bit, see the barricade setup. So far, kind of pushing them in, you know, trying to snake them as best as possible towards the rift, about right here. So let's take a look a little farther in, snaking it outwards. This looks really familiar to some of the ones we've seen, except here in front of the rift, there's just more traps. All right, or more space for traps, maybe not traps yet. But look at these vertical saw blades, and we've got vertical saw blades back here that are going to bounce towards where Cygnus is sleeping, and back, probably on the other side as well. Because he only brought 2 wall traps here, so that's definitely what's going on. All right, let's move a little bit farther inwards and see if we can take a look at the traps laid out. So here is the kind of farthest back corner, going tar into flips here, and you can kind of see the wall thing that he did. So vertical or horizontal saw blade into butterfly into vertical saw blades. Pretty smart layout, if I may say so myself. All right. all right. Now, it looks like, yeah, so we just saw in front of the rift. Let's take another look and see if we can see that here. So in front of the rift, we've got flip traps going back, and then this little section here, I'm guessing this little divot is either for pathing or for enemies getting knocked over. So that way they don't actually end up in the kill box and they just run back that way. This is really risky because you only have 1 barricade for a sapper to destroy and it's all over. And I would have actually turned my flip traps the other way just in case that happened. Then I could place a barricade and hopefully not lose. But again, you know, longevity was the name of the game, and the scroll, the empty rift scroll, definitely helps with that. Now this took about 4 hours and 10 minutes here to get this far, but at a certain point you don't really help your kill box, and there you saw he used the empty rift scroll. There's just so many enemies, and they took a little bit too long to get in that Ryasa eventually lost all of their lives. So that concludes the deep dive or sort of thing. The look at all of the enemies, or all of the contestants putting in their submissions for the longest possible wave with the rift room only. Good job, guys. I did try and run it myself, however I lost to some sappers, so I can't tell you if it's good or not, but there is other traps to bring instead of the traps brought. Such as boom barrel rollers fit well on the walls and on top of the rift. And also spike walls, vertical spike walls can slam down, so they can be on a separate cooldown than the flip traps, and maybe you last longer. Again, I'm not exactly sure. And then butterflies, of course, for the pillars, like on the right hand side of the rift or on the top side of the rift. Those pillars there, you can put it not facing where they're walking, but like perpendicular to it, and they'll still get affected by it. So you can kind of put them out of the way and they still are effective. That sort of thing. Okay, the next thing we have to do is go over the answers for the quiz. All right, let me go ahead and pull that up and pull this up. And so this is basically going to be, I'm going to cover how many points everything is worth and what it is that they were. I've already graded all of the answers, maybe or maybe not while I was at work. Depends if you are my boss or not. If you are my boss, I did not do this during working hours. But if you're not my boss, then I did. So, so here we go. So the first one is Vorwick's left forearm. Of course, I gave that to you just kind of as an example. I would have counted it as 3 points if I counted it at all. Okay, so that's this one right here. Now, the second one is the cauldron. This is the cauldron here. Okay. That's on the same map. Okay, now number 3 is a medium orc center of the play screen or of the start screen. It's 2 points, 1 for the item, 1 for the location, which is just, you know, there. All right, so it's 2 points. All right, number 4 is a bottom right door in Order Enclave. That's for 3 points. 1 is the item, 2 is location, 3 is on the map. So you get 3 points total if you get any of those or those 3 things. Okay, number 5 is going to be the Orc Archer on the left side of the screen of the game select. It's 2 points, 1 for the item, 1 for the location. Number 6, nobody got this, but it's Confusion Flower. It's 5 points for the 1 item. This is weighed heavily because it's a difficult one to get. Okay, number 7 is the top barrel across from the Rift Room on Icebound Mines. It's 3 points, 1 for the item, 1 for the map, 1 for the location. Okay, number 8 is a show part-time in options. Don't forget to turn that on if you haven't already. It's 2 points. 1 is for the item and 1 is for the location. This will be found in the options gameplay. Scroll down to the bottom, you'll see the show part-time. Turn that on. Number 9 is the crystals in the cart outside the flyer gate, right center of Icebound Mines. It's 3 points. 1 for the item, 1 for the location, 1 for the map. Number 10 is a boom barrel with extra explosion radius upgrade for lava pits. 3 for the 3 points, 1 for the item, 1 for the upgrade, 1 for the map. So the upgrade there matters. 11 is a flag on the pillar top right, top of the stairs from the right gate at Order Enclave. It's a lot. 3 points. Flag, location, and map. All right, I accidentally skipped number 12. This is number 13. Southeast Bird Statue on Order Temple. 3 points. Item, map, location. All right, number 14 is a lightning strike on the bottom right below the southeast gate on Order Enclave. 3 points. Item or the buildings. You can say location and map. As long as I know you know what I'm talking about, it's there. All right, 15 is Kelsey's levitate ability over water in the center of Great Room. That water is on Great Room. It's very dark. 3 points, ability, location, and map. Okay, and then number 16 is the rightmost order emblem above ground on the right side of Aqueducts. 3 points, 1 item, 1 location, and 1 for the map. Number 17 is Eye of the Arcane Dragon. It's worth 2 points. Only 1 person got that. Good on you. It was more of a, I got it because you guess. You're like, I don't know what it is, but maybe this. Kind of looks like it. And yes, you were right. Okay, number 18, Saw Blade Launcher on Aqueducts. 2 points. 1 for the item, 1 for the map. I realize the lighting might be a little weird, so you can't tell where it is on the map, but at least you got that. 19, bottom right corner of the Rift platform on Frostbitten. 2 points. Item and map. Since location is pretty obvious because it's the Rift. As long as you got the item and map. Number 20 is Flip Trap on Aqueducts. 2 points, item and map. You can kind of tell it's Aqueducts because of the color of the ground. Now, number 21, I lost the zoomed in pick, but it's the backside of the stone staff zoomed in, plus the gear on the top left on the left side of Icebound Mines. 4 points. 1 for the weapon, 1 for the gears, 1 for the map, and 1 for the location. 22 is a weird wall emblem in Order Temple. There's only 2 points on that. 1 for the item, 1 for the map. I was going to go with location, but they're kind of scattered everywhere, so I didn't want to add that into my point system. All right, 23, the windows in Coastal Hallways, 3 points, item, map, and location. The items in the windows, of course, map and location. Top right corner of Coastal Hallways. 24 is the right forearm guard on Orc World Max Skin, 3 points just for the 1 item. Right mouse button projectiles, 25 of the Elven Short Swords on Front Lawn. A lot of people guessed the other, the flyer one, but no, it's 2 points. One for the item, one for the map. On the right-hand side of that. 26 is the window of the building, far left side of the Order Temple. 3 points, one item, one for the map, one for the location. You can see it there, left on the map, that is. On mini-map. 27 is Max's jump ability on Icebound Mines in front of the Flyer Gate. 3 points, one for the ability, one for the location, one for the map. Okay, 28 is a grate on top of right of sled shelves. 3 points, one for the item, one map, one location, just outside the rift room, basically. 29 is the belt of the decoy. It's worth 2 points because it was a bit of a tough one. But yeah, it's worth 2 points, belt of the decoy there. Number 30 is a crystal near the rock, bottom left first floor of coastal hallways. 3 points, one item, one location, one map. Number 31 is the top left corner of the bowling boulder. Since you can't really tell about the map, I just went ahead and counted for 1 point. It's a pretty easy one to find. So good job to you guys. Alright, 32, Cyclopean engaged trinket visual on coastal hallways. 2 points, one for the item, one for the map. The ground is fairly dark, so you can kind of tell it's a little bluish. So there. 33 is a right mouse button of the longbow. If you press and hold the longbow and you charge it like that, there you go. It's worth 1 point. To get that item. 34 is a trap reset trinket activation animation on coastal hallways. Again, the dark bluish wood you can kind of see there. So 2 items, one for the map and one for the item. 35 is the reinforced barricades on Aqueducts. Now this one was a tough one for a lot of people, and it's very true. So you get 2 for the item, 3 for the upgrade, 4 for the map. Nobody got it. As a matter of fact, nobody even tried. I had to zoom in because it was easy enough if I zoomed out a little bit. 36 is gravity pillar on coastal hallways. Again, it's darkish bluish. You can just kind of guess on that map. That would be a tough one for sure, but 2 points, one for the item, one for the map. 37 is a grenade from blunderbuss right mouse button on Aqueducts. 2 points, one for the item, one for the map. It's a little hard to tell on the map, but again, I needed to make it a little difficult. 38 is the left side of the fire arrow wall, 1 point just for the item. Okay, 39 is a ground torch near the rift on Icebound Mines. 3 points, one for the item, map, and location. Number 40 is charge activation of lightning staff on lava pits. Really hard to tell the map. You kind of have to guess on that, but either way, oh, I actually only put that for 1 point, just the item. So if you got it, the lightning staff, then good. 41 is center lion head on the east side of Aqueducts. 3 points, one location, one item, one map. Okay, 42 is the Alchemist Satchel Explosion on Lava Pits. Okay, it's 2 points, one for the item, one for the map. Alright, 43 is the barrel outside of Order Temple on the bottom left. 3 points, one for the item, one for the map, one for the location. .44 is the Molten Gold Trap. I give you 2 points for this because it's kind of hard to tell. But Molten Gold Trap is 44. Alright, 45 is a Swinging Mace on Lava Pits. 2 points for one for the item, one for the map. Nobody got it, but if they said the fire upgrade for the Swinging Mace, I probably put that up to like 3 points. One for the upgrade as well. But that's okay. Now, 46 is a tough one. Dwarven Warhammer, 6 points, one item. You can see the little blue crystal there as in the crevice is part of the Dwarven Warhammer. Very nice. All right. 47, the pick didn't come out right. It was supposed to be the portal, but you guys didn't see that. You saw like the right-hand side of the portal. So I made it worth 4 points because it didn't actually show you this. It showed you like whatever to the right of that was for whatever reason. So I gave it 4 points for the portal. Or for that location. All right, 48 is a heavy orc, and the heavy orc, the background is purple. It's actually on this level, or on the trap select screen while in the level, so you get 2 points, one for the item and one for the location. 49 is Aurora Borealis on coastal hallways. I know somebody said sky, which I totally take, because you know where it is. 2 points, item map. Okay, this is the typical screen when looking for a game in multiplayer lobby. Unfortunately, no games found. It's number 50. 2 points, item and location. 51, it's a valve wheel on the ceiling pipe and sled shelves. 3 points, 1 for the item, location, and map. It's on the south side of the map there. All right, and then 52 is the first buff slot on Scramble. 2 points, 1 for the item, 1 for the location. Location being Scramble, of course. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. That was the giveaway part of that. So, yeah, I went ahead and contacted our 2 winners. Congratulations, guys. Everybody, thanks for playing. Thanks for being a good sport. Can't wait for this DLC to come out. But we'll be there. We'll be there soon. Very, very soon. Soon TM, right? Trademark for that. So it's going to come out tomorrow on the 7th at, what did they say, 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock? Hang on, let me pull it up here. Okay, here you go. 9 a.m. Pacific time, which is 2 hours before me, so that's 11 a.m. my time, which is good because I'm about to go to lunch at 11, so if it hits at this time, I'll be able to give it to you. If not, you'll have to wait for me to come back from lunch at around 12:30 Central Standard Time, so about an hour and a half after this release, quote unquote. And that's only because the boss is taking myself and my coworker out to eat, so I can't really say no to that because I've already said yes to that. Didn't know what time they were coming out with this, but anyways, if it comes out right on time, you'll be able to get it. Otherwise, you might have to wait like an hour and a half, and I do apologize for that. But that is the world we live in. There's no pre-order option, and yeah, so I hope you guys have enjoyed. I hope you guys have learned something. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, hit the like, hit the follow if you're gonna watch on Twitch, I guess, and don't forget to leave a comment. You know, tell me what you thought about it. If they come out with another DLC, we'll do another giveaway, and I'll have to come up with some other ideas that we haven't used yet, but I'm kind of running out of ideas, so we'll see. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. As always, have a good day, stay safe, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Deuces.